Figure collecting is a job. It's a commitment. There is no messing around when it comes to collecting figures. For many people, collecting figures is a full-time job. You have to ride it out through all the highs and lows. When I was 13, I was really obsessed with Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So my dad thought it would be a good idea to get me some of the figures. This show's toy line was very short-lived, so I thought it was cool that I now owned some somewhat rare figures. I started buying and collecting Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures. I would buy one about every 2 to 3 months. Slowly but surely, my collection expanded, and I began to need more and more shelves. During this time, my dad forced me to play Sonic Adventure 2, and I fell in love with it. I became obsessed with all the classic 3D Sonic games, Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, Sonic Heroes, and Shadow the Hedgehog 2005. My dad decided to add to my collection by buying me the main Sonic cast. That's when my spiral into collecting began. I began to buy every Jakks-Pacific Sonic the Hedgehog figure I could find and get my hands on. My collection began to rapidly grow as I began to go to stores every weekend on the hunt for figures. I also started to attend Comic-Cons, and I would scour for hours looking for more figures. Collecting is not a hobby because you have to know everything about what you're on the hunt for. You need to know off the top of your head what year the figure was released, the company that makes it, how rare it is, where you're likely to find it, its shelf price, how much scalpers sell it for, how much it should be worth, and how much you're willing to buy it for. Scalpers seriously impact this industry. Scalpers are people that will go out hunting for figures, like I do, but instead of buying one of the figure that they want, they'll buy all of them and resell that figure for jacked up prices. Sometimes they are double the price, and sometimes they're even more than that. For example, when Sonic Prime came out, there was a Shadow the Hedgehog figure in one of the waves. I patiently waited for him to hit the shelves, and I watched as all the other figures from that wave hit the shelves, but not him. He was such a popular character that when he hit the shelves, he was gone within the blink of an eye. At one point, he was selling on Amazon and eBay for close to $50. His shelf price is $15. I waited it out and bought it from a scalper for a little more than the shelf price. I knew I was never going to find him on a store shelf, so it was worth it to buy it from a scalper. Figures that are difficult to find or extremely rare can sometimes be worth it to buy from scalpers. But more often than not, scalpers are just scamming people. There was another time when I was looking for a Chaos and Big figure. I'd been looking for them for a pretty long time and was beginning to think I would never find them. That's when I attended a Comic-Con and found both of them. The shelf price of each of them is $10, but I bought each at the Comic-Con for $30 because I thought I would never find them in person. However, shortly after the Comic-Con, I began seeing them appear on the shelves of my local Target. I did get ripped off by that scalper, but because I was desperate, he was able to get away with it. There is no messing around when it comes to collecting figures. Prior to Sonic Movie 3 releasing, I knew, because of my past experience with Sonic Prime, that Shadow was going to fly off of shelves. So months ahead of Sonic Movie 3's theatrical release, I had already bought most of the figures. I took a huge risk by buying figures before the movie even released, because I had no idea if the movie would be decent. If the movie flopped, then so would the toy line, and everything I had just bought would be worth absolutely nothing. The gamble I made paid off, however, because now Sonic Movie 3 figures are being resold for crazy prices, and I bought all of it for shelf price. Collecting is an art, and scalpers ruin that. As you can see, scalpers have the ability to uproot this industry. They single-handedly swindle people and prevent figures from reaching their intended markets.